double the dough. Hey, Roger Yama, do it dough. Yeah, double the. Hey, hey, double the dough.
Okay, so welcome to this edition of this show where we're gonna be talking about, a lot of things, including business, religion, sports, and things that are happening all over the world. And today I have one of the most prominent guests in Zimbabwe. This man has been doing a lot, especially in the business sectors. You see him all over. I see him in Harare, in Shawane, even in South Africa, and he has been making strides in the business sector. And many people have been also learning from him. And he has a lot to unpack, a lot. So I'm just gonna get right to you, sir. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alec. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Yeah, well, I'm doing so well. I can see you relaxed. How are you that side?
Hey, after a very long day, it's always tough, man. Running up and down, and then now coming home, try to chill, and yeah, here I am.
And you have to wake up again in the next 8 hours to get back to work.
Actually, have you ever seen a video of someone in the diaspora who came with a bag, just sleep on the bed few minutes, then walks up and go
Oh
back to
yeah,
work again?
I remember that. I was like, "Hey, there's no rest. There's no rest."
Yeah, no,
Okay.
if you are a man, you really need to hustle. There's no time to rest. There's no time to mourn and complain. If you are dedicated to hustle, then you no longer feel the pain, man.
You actually enjoy it.
Yeah, you end up enjoying it. And if you are to ask me to say, Doc, can you relax at home for a month? Yes, I don't think I will cope.
Oh, that'll be something very difficult. Okay, interesting. Getting into that. Okay, so I have a lot that I need to ask because lately we have been seeing you on social media. There are posts, the work that you're doing. People are asking, so what exactly does he do? Is he into construction? Is he a socialite? Is he one of those guys that are popping up? So, yeah, and so I would like to pose the same question to you, like, so who is Dr. Marambire? And yeah.
No, Alec, honestly, this guy who really lives his life minding his own business.
Hmm.
Uh, Fortunate enough, I found myself in the either social media or in the news, but not necessarily knowing that it would end there. The first time I came on ZTV, I
Hmm.
was busy minding my own business down there in Berengwa, and those guys in the newspaper started writing. They recognized me and they called me. They say, "We want to run a story about your business and your life." And I was very busy to come to Harare. So the TV guys had to come all the way to Mberengwa. And
Oh,
I found myself in the news. So honestly, it's not like I'm a socialite. I'm someone who is more focused on what I do. I'm a practical person. So what
okay.
I can say is maybe the work that I do
Hmm.
is so visible and people realize it. And I thank God for that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you actually be focused on doing your thing, and then in that process you become the news.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
No.
And there's a lot of things that we do behind the scene. So
Hmm.
not everything that comes out to the public, but yes, we have got a lot. It's only one out of 10 or 2 out of 10 that will pop out and make news. But otherwise, yeah, no, that's life, man.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into my questions because I'm just like one of those people out there. We have started noticing on social media. There is a man called Dr. Marambire. Oh, he's with Madam Boss. Oh, he is with this. He is this. What does he do? What is all about? What is this food for thoughts and everything? So, my first question is like, you know, um, the first time I came across you was when there was a post about the Nyathi family. The social, I think it is, I don't know the
So,
name, but
corporate social responsibility.
yeah, that kind of thing. And you said you were gonna build them a house, and the couple, you were adored by their lifestyle and what they're doing on social media. So, what is the progress? What really inspired you to do that, and what is the progress now with those guys?
Okay, let me start. Let me start with what inspired me to reach out to those guys. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Alec, I'm one of those people who have got a very difficult background. Like the way I grew up, things were not good at all. Were very, very bad. So I easily relate with a situation where I see people in almost like the same situation that I was few years back there. So when I looked at that couple, I was moved by their genuine and they are honest. You know, those guys were just showing their life without pretending,
Mm-hmm.
without sugarcoating. They were showing real life. So that alone really moved me. And let me say this,
Mm.
you know, God speaks to people in different ways.
Right.
And for God to connect me with the Nyathi family, I think God really had a purpose because hello, did you lost me?
No, I'm still with you. I'm still with you.
Okay, sorry. I think it was some interruption. So
Okay.
when I visited their home, I really noticed that it was God connect me with them, and the project is in progress. I think
Mm-hmm.
very soon with their permission, or otherwise, during the time we're going to hand over,
Okay.
uh, the public will see the promise, what we
We
promised, and how far the project is will look like.
Okay, we're actually waiting for the ribbons because we have to cut the ribbons and all that stuff.
No, definitely that day is coming, and we're in touch with the Nyati family. Time to time, we communicate. I like the fact that we now become more like a family. I went to South Africa. I
Mm-hmm.
invited them, and we met. We spent almost the whole night together. We had time to chat, talk, and it's a very lovely couple. I like their spirit, and they are very humble, and they are people who want to learn. And
Okay.
I see their future bright because they do their things together. And I always pray for them. It's a young couple which has just recently come into the public, and you know how
Yeah,
is it on social media.
yeah, I
It's not.
noticed. Like recently, people were on them and people were on them and stuff. Okay, well, that's
They're
interesting.
just kids.
Okay, okay, so they need to be. There are kids out there in the jungle.
Yes, exactly.
That's an example that you have grown up. Okay,
Yeah.
you mentioned something about relating with your past, which was a little bit coming from nothing to something, and then there is a book called The Head Boy, which actually talks about that as well. You talked about the Head Boy. Can you maybe tell us briefly about what is it all about?
You know, after I reached a certain level, I'm not actually say I've made it, but
Mm-hmm.
after I reached a certain level, I felt my life was now better as compared to how I grew up. And when I look at the challenge that I came across as I was growing up, it relates to a lot of African people or African child out there. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to say, no, let me write a book about my life. And I actually named it The Head Boy. You know why?
Yeah, yeah. Why? Fuzo Mombe.
After I finished my O level, there was no way to go. I didn't have relatives. I couldn't further my studies. Saka
Oh,
ndakatanga kutsvaga basa and
yeah.
ndakambowana basa rekumafamu ndokuzonowana basa rekuritsa mombe.
Okay, where was
So
this?
No, actually, it's a long story. I wrote everything. I wrote everything about the journey in the book. I ended
Okay.
up in Botswana. That's where I was looking after cattle. And
Wow.
yeah, it's a long story how I ended up in Botswana. But yeah, that's what happened. So I just say my life is a living testimony. And
Mhm.
sharing my life with people, I can motivate, inspire, and give hope. So that's what I learned out of the whole struggle. To say
What's
no,
up?
God didn't punish me, but He taught me a lesson. And I think if it was an exam, I passed the exam. So it's now time for me to teach others, to give them hope. So I wrote the book about my life, how I grew up, how I started my business. So actually, it's a project where I started with a book and a song, and we are now at the stage of doing a documentary. Finally, at last, we would like to do a film, like a complete film, which we will find a young Mufudzi who
Okay. Oh, this is
who will play
interesting.
my part, and then later who grow into a successful business person like me now.
Okay, well, that is quite interesting. Of which you mentioned something about a song, Mufudzi wemombe, the head boy, and there is a popular song which I came across by Trevor and Feli, which talks about Mufudzi wemombe, and I recently noticed that the man that will be reading the book at the beginning of the video is you. What is your relationship with that song and that book in that song?
Actually, you know what happened after I wrote the book? It was soon after COVID, and as I told you that the plan is to make my story an exemplary for other people who might need that kind of encouragement.
Yeah.
So I did a book. I wrote a book, and then I looked for artists to sing the song. The song was supposed to be produced within a very short period of time because we were launching the book on the 20th of August. And I really needed someone to do the song. So I was looking for people who can do jazz, more like African music.
Okay.
And those days we were working with Comic Pastor and Nigel. They were advertising our company. So I come across song ya Feli yakaita cover ya ainzi andichazota enzani but imwe song yakudharadhara so akaita cover yanga iri right, which I saw talent in her at that time.
Okay.
So I said, Nigel, can you link me up with Feli? And I give a call. I said, Feli, I want you to do a song about my book, and I would like you to sing the song on the book launch. And she was like,
Okay.
Mkoma, zobudere. I'm just a energy, big vocalist one day winning.
Oh, she was
So
still with you all that time. Oh,
yeah. So
really?
what happened? I persuaded her, even though she hana zvayekuramba, but ndakazoti ndine mufana wangu. I've got a close brother, Trevor Dong. So I would like you to do the song together, a male artist and a female artist.
No artist.
Then you will come and perform it on the book launch. And I gave them the book. They read the book, all
Okay.
of them. And I was really, really, really pressuring them because normally, if you can
Mm.
ask people, vanoshanda navo vanokutaura kuti, hey, this guy, kona wagara wabvuma ushanda naye, he really sit on your neck. So I think the whole
Okay.
project was done in 48 hours. Because I sent them a
48
book.
hours.
Yes, I sent them a book to read. Then we were busy looking for a producer who can do the song. Do you know? At first, I had given a friend of mine who works at Peter House. So that song was supposed to be produced by the music team at Peter House, and
Oh,
they did.
okay.
Yeah, and they did a song. They sent it, and it was not what I wanted.
Oh,
So
okay.
that
Yes.
So that's when I approached these guys, and they did a wonderful song. They went to the studio, I think it was around 10 midnight.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and in the morning, they sent me the song. I was like, yeah, the song is fine. I quickly make those cover, what do you call it?
The cover
The
art.
cover for the CD. Yes, yes, yes. And I started marketing the launch, the song, the book, the guest of honor. And on
Oh,
the day,
really?
I think if you can go on Facebook, you will see
Uh-huh.
that the launch was one of its kind. I spent a lot of money on the launch. All
On the
the
launch.
artists came in a limousine, and
Oh,
yeah, I
really?
think it was yeah, it was really good.
That's wemombe.
Aiwa, akamubvunza wembe unenge wakumbotreya kutaridza kuti I'm no longer in the poverty.
Wow, that was amazing. That was amazing. So, but now I checked the song is like over 4 million views on YouTube, and like when I listened to it, I didn't even know that it was about you. Like there was no link to the book for me. I was just like, maybe it's one of those songs where you have a guy reading a book called Mufudzi. I actually wasn't aware there was a book. So,
Actually, what we did to the song, I said to McDonald Chidavez,
uh-huh.
let us do this song neutrally so that let us not personalize it. That's why I
Okay.
didn't like my name to appear in the song. And
Oh,
it worked because when people listen to the song, they will say, I relate to this. It made me think of the past. And I was like, wow.
exactly.
Saka izviri kuti vanhu vakawanda, we went through this, right? And only what we did, I paid at the beginning of the song, and we took the logo. If you look at the end of the video, there's my company logo there for Bamlo, and that's what
Okay.
we did. So after the production,
Mhm.
Maki came to me and say, Mukoma, tapeza the production. And because I selected and given them what I would like to the song to be like.
You
The
like.
beats,
So
the instruments. Yes,
it
yes,
was
like I want.
all your idea.
Yeah, I really wanted them to put even the sound of the violin. I think that's the only thing that we didn't manage to get, but otherwise everything was perfect. And then as we finished the production, Mark said, Mukoma, here's your project. We are done. Because we had paid for the videographer, for the producer, like for literally for everything. Yes. Then I said, guys, look, I'm not an artist. You are the artist. Take the song, put it on your platforms.
Platforms.
But the important conditions that we were supposed to work on the song and the book, I gave them a very typical example. I said, look what happened to Neria, the film and the song.
Mhm.
Uh, these are true articles which work together and promote each other. So the
Yeah.
idea was you guys as artists, each time you perform the song or wherever you go with the song, it should attach to the book
To the story.
so that the story and the motive behind everything should reach to people accordingly.
Okay, okay. So this is the part that we are yet to see. Is it?
Hey, Alec, are we together? It seems like the network was breaking.
Yeah, yeah. I can. I'm still with you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
So I didn't get the question that you're asking.
Okay, I was asking like, so this is the part that we are yet to see, the part of the song and the book being incorporated together.
No, unfortunately, it didn't work out as I thought. But remember, those guys were not employed to do that.
Okay.
Everything was done out of good faith. Yes, of course, for performing the song, the artists were paid, and for all the work, everyone was paid. But for promoting, it was not necessarily more like a contract. But we
Okay.
worked out of good faith. Unfortunately, Azvinozita sekudaro, there was a huge separation to a fact that some people doesn't know that the song is actually a cover song for the book.
For the book. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually was shocked when I hear that, because I know the song. I actually sing the song. I play it every time, but I didn't know that it had a story, a book behind it. Actually, everything is there in the video, but you can't connect the dots. It's a real
But
book,
no,
or
don't you know what I believe is going to happen. Now we have started working on the documentary. It's actually a big media company that is shooting the documentary, and
wow.
it's an interesting journey. Even
Okay,
though-
wow.
even though even though it's some time, uh, like when we started the first day, these
Hmm.
guys were asking questions that took me way back, and
Okay.
at a moment I really break, man, because there are certain memories that you would not want to think about.
Yeah, yeah, uchidya matamba, utsvaga tseketsa, mombe dzadya mumunda, and those kind of
Al-
things.
Alec, you're actually talking about that only. Ill treatment. Vanhu vanenge vachikutrita like you don't exist, man.
Yeah,
Mashoko anenge uchiudzwa nevanhu, kushaya chekudya, chekupfeka. It's all about, if you understand poverty, that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
rate
yeah,
that
yeah,
I experienced. I mean, like going some days without anything to eat. Alec,
wow.
if I can tell you something, you would not believe
Yeah,
it.
yeah, what happened?
I suffered from kwashiorkor, if you know kwashiorkor. Chirwere chemainfants
Yeah,
chechi.
yeah, for balanced diet, like you're not eating
Yes, I
certain
suffered from kwashiorkor when I was now doing Form 1.
form one.
That's how bad it was. Yeah. I went to the hospital, to the clinic, actually, not hospital, for treatment because I thought what happened, my skin yakatanga kungowinyana so pamaoko pamatama and every time maybe that's resuscitate or something like that. Kwakuita kunobatwa kuti no, this is kwashiorkor. So I was not given any medication, but ndakapiwa chikafu nemafuta. Ndakapiwa beans nemafuta kuti enda unobika
Wow.
uje.
Hey, yeah, yeah, that's something. That's something else. That's something
Yeah.
else. So there is this part where now people want to connect. Like, how do you come now out of this whole situation to become to a man where you are right now, where like you have a lot of employees under you. I think you are a millionaire. I haven't checked your net worth. I don't know if it's there on Google, but I'm sure that you are a millionaire in Zim. How do you come from this guy who has kwashioka, who has been ill treated, who has been heading cattle, to be this guy that I'm seeing right now?
I always say I was so far there was no valuation by any rated company to confirm my net worth. It's only that sometimes when you count papers in your pocket, you think you're a millionaire. Not
Okay.
not necessarily knowing what is considered for someone to be called a millionaire. But I can admit that I'm no longer starving like before.
Hmm.
And sometimes when I share my testimony, people say, he's lying. Yeah, he's trying to create a story where people will sympathize with him or they want to attract attention.
Yeah.
Fortunate enough, the people who witnessed my life, most of them are still alive. They can give testimonies. Each time when I go to Botswana, I visit the home where I was looking after cattle, and the
Okay.
parents are now a bit old. Last month I passed through.
Hmm.
Uh, the lady saw me when I was getting out of the car. She really literally cried and hugged me. But
Oh
they've
wow.
now grown up, man. What kure. They've now grown up.
Oh wow, wow. This is amazing.
So to answer your question is
Mm.
through hard work, focus, saving money. More like what I always teach on my Facebook page.
Mhm.
Uh, it's a process. it doesn't happen overnight. You need to be dedicated. You need to know what you want in life. You need to be principled when it comes to use money, to be disciplined, and proper planning and focus. It's something that is required. So it will never happen like a miracle as people think, to say, maybe I will just wake up and I have money. You know, the time when I was still starting, I really worked so hard to an extent that one day I was hired by a certain guy in Botswana, and I was working on his foundation. I was working alone. And then, this day there were soldiers who were patrolling looking for illegal immigrants.
Okay.
Pavakasvika pandiri havanabvunza passport. Vakati iwe shamwari they call it mutokwani. Ukai mutokwani munhu. So that they were asking if I got mbanje or any drug that I'm taking. And I said, no, I'm just working. After inspecting and checking thoroughly, they said, okay. They recommended me. I said, okay, keep on doing. They was very amazed. This guy is working alone doing this. Basare said. So it didn't come easy. It was through sweat and blood. There are certain jobs that I did, which are manually, like molding bricks, digging foundation, mixing concrete. I was named the JCP.
You're everything there.
You know what is a JCP?
No, what's that?
A TLB, man. That machine which is used to load and dig.
Oh, that huge machine. So you.
No, they were calling me JCB.
Wow. So what I'm getting here is that there is a hard part of the process, because the questions that I usually get, especially on Facebook, is mostly people will be like, we are tired of these speakers. They tell us that I was this, look, I'm now this. We want the how part. So I think you've kind of explained some of the principles, like you need discipline, you need to work hard, you need to be patient, and I think these are some of the things that people don't really, or maybe it's our generation. We are not that patient.
Yeah, hey, double that death.